Out of Order Gun Rights Podcast, Episode 21.
Welcome to the Out of Order Podcast, your window into the firearms community, exploring those shaping the future of our rights and protecting our lifestyle, laws, legal cases, activism, and self-defense, in a candid and honest podcast for our brothers and sisters in arms. Here's your host, James Kalita.
Thank you for tuning in to the Out of Order Gun Rights Podcast. Today's guest is Mia Farinelli. Mia is a junior competitive shooter and participated in the DC project. Head over to the show notes page, outoforderjameskalita.com/Mia Farinelli, and you'll find links to Mia's Facebook and Instagram pages, her sponsors, and you can also sign up for the Out of Order email list and check out links to the show sponsors. And now, here's Mia.
Mia Farinelli, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, you are a junior competitive shooter. Would you tell us a little about that?
Yes, competitive shooting is where you use firearms, and I do more of a tactical movement shooting. So while I'm shooting, I'm moving around and hitting cardboard targets, steel clays, with shotgun, rifle, pistol, and it's a lot of action. And I am a junior shooter, and there are different categories of shooting. There's youth, which I believe is a younger age to 12 years old, and above that is junior, which goes up to 18, and after that is just the normal shooting category, then there's senior and super senior. So I am in the junior category, which I would say is one of the most competitive because of all the uprising junior shooters at the moment. The sport is really growing right now.
I've seen that, and so you would say it's the most competitive segment of the sport, huh?
Yeah, it really is. So there are these girls named Zoe and Mackenzie Bragg, and they are females, and they just started getting super competitive in the Steel Challenge, and it's kind of different for a female to be getting really high up on the ranks, and these girls are reaching up, and there's so many new junior shooters that are reaching up with them, and they're just always on the top of the leaderboard now. It's incredibly competitive now.
Great. So how did you get into this?
Well, this is actually a funny story. So I received a bolt-action 22 for Christmas when I was about 7, and my dad took me to his uncle's farm, and he loaded me a magazine, and the first 5 shots I took, I got them in the bullseye. And so, of course, my dad was going crazy in the background. So when we went home, we went to a local range. And my dad was getting into competitive shooting then, so he got a jersey. And when we opened the box, there were 2 jerseys in them, and one of them had my name on it. And so we went to my range the next day, and I tried on the jersey, and it fit perfectly. And they said, well, now that you have a jersey, you have to shoot a match. And so I shot a match, and I came 24th place, and they obviously saw that I had something for it. And so the next 2 matches I shot, I did pretty well. Then I got into 10th place. Then I got into 4th place. Then I got into 1st place. And that's when it really started to shoot off, and that's when I really grew a love for it. And so I started shooting 3-gun. I started shooting USDSA. I started shooting Steel Challenge.
Wow, that is a lot. So how often do you have to train to compete at that level?
Well, I probably shoot 5 times a week. I shoot Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and on the weekends I have matches, usually 1, but sometimes I have 2, which are typically back-to-back. And I try to dry fire the days that I'm not shooting. So I'm training a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So you're shooting 5 days a week, and that's so that training 3 days and competing 2 days, or?
Yes, typically yes, but sometimes just 1.
Sometimes just 1. Okay, wow. And so the dry firing, do you find that really helps improve your results?
Yes, as I have experienced, shooting is a perishable sport. So if I don't practice like my draw, which is very important in USPSA, if I don't practice my draw, I could start forgetting some steps of it, or I could just start slowing down. So the more you train, the more you just grip your gun and get a sight picture, it helps you with your training, which helps you with your performance at a match.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Good. So would you have any tips for young people that want to get into shooting? Any advice for them?
Well, yes. Before we start talking about having fun, we should talk about gun safety. Gun safety is a huge aspect, and before you even pick up the gun, before you start doing anything, you want to be clear with gun safety. And after you're clear with your rules of gun safety, that's when you should start just having fun. It's all about having fun.
Okay, so first safety and then fun. All right. Let's see. And so DC project, can I ask you about that? Were you there? Was it fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So how was DC Project?
Well, the DC Project was an organization sponsored by a girl and a gun, and it was 50 women from 50 different states. And we went to our legislators, and we talked to them about the shooting sports. We talked to them about different girls who had different relationships with firearms. And we just went to get a relationship with our legislators. So before they slapped out a bill about gun control or anything like that, they would know that it would be affecting us in some way, shape, or form. And so we talked to them to be a resource if they had any questions, or just so they could think about the other side of the gun community.
Excellent. Great. And did you get to meet anybody especially cool while you were down there?
Well, we were mainly talking to staffers, and we kind of just shared our stories, but that's really all that went on. But it was very fun. We did meet some fun people, and it was overall a great experience. It really was. Great.
And so you're completing, I think you said, 3 different shooting sports. Is there one that's your favorite?
I get this question asked a lot. I like 3 guns, and there is a reason, because I get to shoot more guns.
Excellent. All right. Let's see. And so do you have a favorite gun to shoot?
Pardon?
Oh, do you have a favorite firearm to shoot?
Oh, that's like choosing a favorite child, but I think I would have to go with my AR-15.
Okay.
I really like her. Her name is Smurfette.
Smurfette. Oh, okay. All right. What kind is it?
Pardon?
Oh, is it like a certain model or a certain style?
It is a Franken gun. I like to call it that because it's the gun parts that I like best, and we just put them together to make one super AR-15.
Oh, excellent. Very cool. Oh, all right. Let's see here. And so how about for folks that have been shooting a while and they're thinking about competition? Any tips for them?
Yes, well, find a local gun range. And once again, before you start shooting, learn a little bit about your sport. And when you go there, you could talk to the match director or the ROs, and you could see if they'll put you last in the squad, so you could talk to people in your squad, and so you could really get a hang for the sport before you start shooting. And the shooting community is incredibly supportive, so they will do anything they can to help you. And if you're nervous, that's okay, but there's really nothing to be nervous about because everyone's just so supportive and so nice. Oh,
that's great. So your experience as a female and a young person has been good since you started with this?
Yeah, no, it's been great. And I think that being female, there are not many female shooters, and so you kind of stand out and you get a little bit more attention. So I've been getting some sponsors. I don't know if you know. I have a few sponsors for shooting, and they're incredibly supportive. But being female, it's just, there's like a little community within the shooting community of female shooters, and that is so extremely supportive. We call them squad moms because they just mom you in a way. They're just so nice. It's
Oh, that's
amazing.
great.
It's incredible.
I have not heard that term before, squad mom. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So let's see. So you mentioned some of your sponsors. Did you want to let everybody know who they were?
Yeah, I am sponsored by Sharpshooters Indoor Range and Pro Shop, which is a range very close to me in Norton, Virginia. They do gun rentals, great instruction. So if you're a first-time shooter and you really want to try, I fully recommend them. I'm sponsored by Steel Target Paint, and not only do they make Steel Target Paint, but they make these other products like bug repellent and towels that work extremely well while you're shooting. And I'm sponsored by Tactical Solutions, which is a 22 gun company, and I'm sponsored by Palmetto State Armory, which is a PCC company, and they make amazing PCCs. And I'm sponsored by Or Tactical, and they make custom loads just for your gun.
Oh, okay. Great. Let's see. Great. And where should people try and find you online?
Pardon?
Oh, where should people try to find you? Is there a website or?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
On Instagram, I'm 22_gun_girl. And on Facebook, my competitive shooter page is 22 Gun Girl. You should go and like that.
Great. All right. And anything you want to add for our listeners?
No, but if you are a first-time shooter, just get out there, have fun. The community is great. I fully recommend it. It's extremely fun.
Great. And I've been asking my guests if there were any books that really influenced their shooting or.
Yeah. I highly recommend Practical Shooting by Brian Enos. That's actually a book I got when I first started shooting, and it really helped me with not only my shooting game, but also my mind game, because people don't realize that there's a lot of mental game that goes into shooting.
All right. Great.
And I also recommend the Ben Stager shooting and dry firing books too.
Okay, that was Defense Shooter and Dry Firing?
Pardon?
Oh, could you say the name of that second book again?
Just the Ben Stager series. He writes a series of books about dry firing and shooting.
Okay, great. Well, Mia, I thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to the Out of Order Gun Rights Podcast. Please head over to the show notes page, Out of Order James Kalita /Mia Farinelli, and we'll see you next time.